Hello my friends, welcome back to the first tutorial of 2022. Very happy new year to you all. I hope it's been a very happy and peaceful Christmas out there. It was a very strange year last year, wasn't it? Lots of different things happened. Let's hope this year will bring better things to us all. Okay, but you know, life could be a lot worse. Let's think of it like that. Anyway, welcome back to my first tutorial 2022. A very big wall art. I redecorated the house inside, well, just the hall and the landing. I put down nice dark grey kind of a carpet on the stairs, and I painted the walls a kind of a light to medium grey. So I want something for a long narrow wall, a nice kind of an abstracty wall art, let's say. A landscape wouldn't suit this kind of a shape, so it needs to be something kind of more abstract. My wife wants something with light and dark greys, whites, with a huge splash of a rich burgundy going through it. So a kind of wavy effect or something like that. I have a picture behind me here just as a reference, but that's what I'm going to do. Just something nice and free and loose, just to get us started for the new year. Get the juices flowing, get the brush flowing, get the colours going. I have this canvas. I made this myself. It was an off-cut of canvas I had left from a previous wall art. So I just stretched it around this 2x1 frame, 1x2 frame, stapled it at the back. I gave it 2 coats of PVA glue. It's a PVA sealer, a glue and a sealer. I gave it 2 watery coats of PVA sealer, let it dry, then I gave it a coat of white undercoat. You can use gesso as well, it's the same thing. It's just a standard basic white household undercoat. I left it dry. It could do with maybe 1 or 2 more coats now, but I don't have the patience really. I just want to crack on and get this done. So it feels a little bit rough, but I think with lots of linseed oil on the canvas before we start, it'll make it nice and slippery and it won't dry in or soak in as much. So that's it. It's a very tall canvas. I don't know if you can see the bottom and the top here, but it's a very long narrow canvas. I have little mixing palette here just for very lots of large watery mixes, and I have some colours here on my palette just to scoop up when I need. So most of this will be done now with a very big brush. I have a brush here somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, just a very basic cheap bristle brush. Okay, something very cheap like that. Lots of swirly strokes, all that kind of thing. So let's go and have a bit of fun with this and see what it looks like. And we'll bring it in then and hang it on the wall. I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll go right back and have a nice look and see how it complements the greys on the carpet and the walls. Okay, so yeah, here's the 2022. Lots more live streams this year. I'm going to really get into live streams, especially for patrons. I want to really kind of connect with people and talk with people as I paint. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I suppose I never had the courage or the confidence to try it. So I'm just going to try it this year. Lots of live streams and on YouTube as well. So if you want to follow me along, grab your paints and your small bit of canvas even. Let's make a nice little wall art for the wall. It'll go on any wall. Okay, so you could change colours on this. If you didn't want the dark burgundy, you could make it pink, you could make it green, you could just make a splash of blue or something. So just to loosen up, okay? Don't go anywhere, let's have a bit of fun with this. Okay, you should see the reference photograph on your screen there. It's just a reference. I'm not going to copy it exactly, but it's just to get the colours. Do you understand what I mean? Right, this may be a little dry, so I'm going to take some linseed oil, right? Some tissue and some linseed oil. Lots of linseed oil. You can make a mix of linseed oil with a little turpentine if you like, but just lots of this now, and I'm going to smear this all over the canvas. Now it's very dry, I can feel it already, it's like sandpaper. I should have maybe, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some turpentine with linseed oil. It might go a bit further, and I think I'll use a little bit of towel as well, okay? A little bit of cloth. It might work a little bit better. I just want to give it a very light coat of this, just to avoid it being very dry. This could take a while. But let's just go with it. Pop a little bit on here and there, and I can see a little bit of a shine on it, so it seems to be working a little bit. Anyhow, the paint will cover. I put lots of paint on this. It's really just to get me started and just to help. Let's try some linseed oil as well. It's just to help oil the surface a little bit, because with big canvases like this, it's a good idea to oil it with something. If it's liquid clear, liquid white, or something, whichever you prefer. It's just really to help the paint move along, that's all. It's really, really dry. I should have, in reality, I should have primed this 3 or 4 times, but I'll give it one coat, because as I said, I'm a very impatient person, so I'd like to get things done. My wife will agree to that. So now, just pop a little bit here, and it just has to go here and there, that's all, just to loosen up the paint, okay? A little bit here and there. And this will make a nice intro for 2022, I think. There we go. Rub it right into the grain. You might not have to do this now if you have a good canvas, okay? A good ready primed canvas. You can hear that is very rough, very, very rough. But let's just go with it and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to try that. Let's just try that and see what happens. If all else fails, I'll have to stop the video and prime it again. So I'm going to take my big palette, and I'm going to take, we have a lovely big strip of burgundy going down, don't we? So I think I'll start with that. So let's just take lots of turpentine. I'll go in here to my little palette here. Now, a burgundy. I'm thinking alizarin crimson and maybe burnt umber, or alizarin crimson, burnt umber with a touch of cadmium red. I'm not quite sure. Let's just mix some up and see. Some crimson. I can see it's more of a crimson, maybe even with a black or something. So let's just try it. Crimson, cadmium red, and maybe a little black. Now I have it's very watery, okay? I just want to put plenty of paint in here. Lots and lots of paint, lots and lots of thinners, and lots of reds just to get going, get us started, and let's see what happens. Okay, now should we go for it and try it? Let's try it. Okay, now more red. I'm thinking more red, lots more red, and I'm probably going to need lots and lots of paint in this. So I'd say a couple of refills with the tubes of paint will be on the way. Okay, let's pop some of that on. And yes, it's really, really dry. Really dry. See how that's just not going anywhere and it's soaking right in? So this could be a challenge. We'll just go with it and see what happens. I know it probably looks more pink right now, but you know, you just kind of start with a colour and start adding different colours into it, that's all. Let's go more cadmium red. Okay, and I just want to be very loose with this. Very, very loose. And look, it's only a wall art, so you don't really have to be too particular. Okay, just go for it, have lots of fun. There will be a lot of greys in this as well. So I'm going to get a lot of paint out here. Do you know what? I'm going to put some in here and make a big, big, big puddle of this crimson. Just add loads of thinners into this. Loads and loads of thinners. And make a nice big puddle of alizarin crimson. Okay? And as it dries in, it's going to darken slightly. And my canvas is moving all over the place here, but we get there. And remember, we don't have to cover all of the canvas either, okay? little bit of cadmium red, lots of thinners again. I am going to make this initial coat quite kind of watery and thin. And when I'm finished then I'll paint around the sides as well. Okay, let's go up here and give it a little turn like that. More crimson, more cadmium red. A hint of burnt umber, perhaps, just to warm it slightly. And let's go around like that, look. And I'm just being very, very abstract with this now, okay? This is just an abstract artwork. Feel free to do it whichever way you like, okay? But my main focus really is on this big burgundy pink piece coming down here, okay? That's my main focus. That's what's going to stand out on the wall, is this big splash of pink, burgundy, rich dark colour. Crimson, maybe a little hint of black. And we could just darken that ever so slightly here. And it's always tricky working with large canvases like this, because you need a real solid surface. I am going to buy one of the studio easels, actually. You know those big easels? I'm going to buy one of those just to help with larger artworks. Good idea, I think. So we have the main section now of our pinks here in, okay? One or two over here just to break up the canvas, as they say. Okay, just like that. Maybe take a little black in that. Pop a little black through it here and there. And another little bit, maybe up here, just to darken it slightly. Pull it down. Even if our canvas is very dry now, it doesn't matter, because this is just a very loose abstract, okay? Very, very loose. We've a couple. I love the way it turns here. I love that, that's lovely. Gives a nice effect, doesn't it? Okay. And if anything, it might just make for nice viewing, okay? Just, let's go with it, have a bit of fun. So, anyway, I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. It was nice and quiet, I thought. A nice, relaxing, quiet Christmas and New Year. You know, it's no harm just to have a nice, quiet one every now and again. No drama. And I took a nice break from painting as well. It's nice to, I think, stop just for a few days and just recharge our batteries. I think it helps to become more focused. Do you know what I mean? Now I'm going to start adding white into this. I'm going to get some nice whites. I'm going to take crimson with a hint of black. That's going to give me this kind of a pinky grey, okay? Because I can see lots of pinky greys going on, especially here. Okay, just like that. Take more white, start lightening it slightly. And this will probably take me about an hour or so, I'm guessing. So you don't have to spend, you know, too much time on abstracts, okay? Just really let your mind free. Just let loose and see what happens. That's all. Just see what happens. Okay? Now let's go down. Let's try and fill in some of this area up here. Now there's not going to be too much pink in this. It's more of a grey. Okay? So I'm just going to dab my brush clean. Take more black in that and more white. But the touch of pink will help warm it as well anyway. And let's get some nice greys, because the carpet in my house is grey, the walls are grey, so it has to have a lot of grey, okay, just to complement everything. Bit more white. This is just nice and fun now. This is really very expressive, okay. It's a nice expressive way of painting, and again it's just loosening up my arms, loosening everything up. Yeah, it's coming on nice so far. I think it's okay. Bit more white, lots more thinners, and I'm going to come down here, fill in this section maybe. Need to get more thinners in just a moment. And this is just a very, very watery mix, okay? Lots of turpentine in this. Now, I need more turpentine in my little bowl over here. And realistically, it's just 3 colours, 3 or 4 colours at most. You know, you don't have to go crazy with a huge palette of colours just to make a nice artwork. Sometimes 1 or 2 colours is fantastic. Okay, more white. And it gets nice and bright. I'm going to go here, brighten it up all the way there. And I'm basically just thinking now about trying to get the canvas covered, because once you get that first coat on the canvas, it'll be much easier to cover it in with thicker paint afterwards. So the thick over thin, okay? There we go, nice and loose, nice and loose. Now, I'll be worried then about finer lines and stuff like that later on, you know what I mean? But for now, just getting the bulk of this sort of covered in. I'm going to create this little circle. It's quite nice, isn't it? It kind of turns and comes in like that, doesn't it? This goes across like that. And it's about just having some fun, that's all. Have lots of fun. There we go. Now, let's go right into white on its own. Put some nice bright colour in here. Scrape it up there, there we go. Don't be shy, put plenty of paint in there. Okay, now it looks a bit funny at the start, I know it does, it looks a bit funny, but look, we'll get there, okay, we will get there. There's no rush, you can take as long as you want with this. But I just I saw this painting and I thought, you know, this would be perfect for the wall that I have, absolutely perfect. So I said, yeah, we'll try it and see what happens. We'll try and make a tutorial from this and just see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I like to try it. Okay, now nice bright white in there. And let's go like that. Nice bright colour in the middle there. And a nice bright colour. I might even add a little hint of Naples yellow in a moment, just up there, just to brighten that slightly. I think the hint of Naples yellow will really help make it jump out. Okay, now I'm going to go with a slightly grey mix in here. I'm just going to sort of darken this slightly as it comes in. I'm going to soften them together like that, you see. And cut in front of that one. Okay, so it's a lot of fun when you see it developing like this. It's amazing how it just kind of changes before you as you're painting. It's amazing. Now I'm going to darken just around here for a second, okay, just like that first. Then I'm going to turn it off like this. All right. Then I'm going to just pick up some pink, some of this lovely rich pink, so crimson and a bit of black, I think. Like that. And I go even darker here. So you just kind of pop brush strokes in here and there. That's all I'm doing. I'm not being, you know, I'm not thinking too much about it. I'm not being, try not to be too particular with all of this. Let's go up here and add a bit of colour. Try and fill this corner in. Okay, now, yeah, we're getting there. We worry about all the fine lines and details like that at the end. You know, I'm just trying to get all the canvas covered here first, so we can kind of relax then and take more time with the finer details. There we go. And okay, the paint is kind of splattering all over the place, but it's better if you have a studio for doing this. I wouldn't be doing this inside your kitchen, to be quite honest, or your bedroom. No, don't do that. God above, you'll have paint all over the place. So do be careful. Take all the necessary precautions. Isn't that what they say? Let me just get this back up here. And let me go more white again. And get that covered, okay? Now, I'm going to start popping some greys in. Need to get lots of greys. Following the arch. Like so. It's taking shape, isn't it? Slowly, but it's taking shape nonetheless. Okay, there we go. A nice kind of, it's something completely different, isn't it? I like to try something completely different now and then. It just really just kind of, you know, it gets the juices going, as I said, and it just, you know, it helps you kind of loosen up your mind a little bit as well. It really does. It's very good practice, just do try it. Okay, I'm going to go a little more down here. A bit there like that. Let's go with a bit of pink. And I will kind of darken some of these burgundies as well, which I'm going to do now actually. I'm going to take some crimson and a little black. Let's get some of these nice dark burgundies going. Let's get one in here. I know like a burgundy would be more maybe a reddy brown, but I'm thinking just a dark, kind of a rich dark pinky blacky kind of a hue. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to kind of go with it. You can always change it as we go. You can see it's just kind of starting to come to life a little bit now, isn't it? And you know, I know so many people who, rather than just trying to paint something like this, would go online and buy something printed. But it's so much more fun if you can try and do something like this yourself. It's just so much fun. You should really try it. And I'm going to break it off in here then like that, okay? Flick it around, create that curvature in there. Okay, there we go. And again, maybe a bit of black with the pink. Let me get some nice dark colours in here. Okay, nice couple of darks in here like that. Oh, see, it's kind of coming together now, isn't it? You know, it's a lot of fun. It really is. I need more white. Okay, let's get let's get this section filled out in here. I'm thinking now for this, just lots of white for that. Okay, and I'm going to mix. I'll mix down here. Look, take a big dollop of white and let's go to town with this. Lots of white down here. And look, I know this may not be everybody's cup of tea, but look, you know, it's good practice. It's very good practice for any painter, I think, to just get something abstract like this and try to have a bit of fun with it. It's really good practice. Now I'm going to go in here. I'll go here with this. Get some nice bright colour in there. And I'm going to leave this one here like that. Take a lot more white, more thinners, and go up here and get some nice colour coming off of this. Okay, and let's go get lots of white now on my palette here, and just try and fill in maybe down that side down there, okay, that left hand side. Let's try and fill some of this in. A nice little abstract for my wall. I hope my wife likes it. I think she will. I hope she will. She just said something with a splash of burgundy, pink and grey. something like that. You know, I don't think she'll be too fussy. It's just a splash of colour for a wall, that's all. I will kind of add a bit more greys, I think, into it in a minute. Try and neutralise some of those pinks, to get some of those pinks out of there, because I don't want too much pink in this. So I'm just going to have to keep going over the white parts with white. Just to brighten it all up. And maybe even use a palette knife as well, every now and then. So let's just go up there now and just brighten up some of those. And soften that in a bit more as well. It's coming together, isn't it? It's coming together slowly. Now, okay, I will go in here and soften that up then. All right. Already it's starting to look pretty nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to start making more greys in this. All right, I think we need a lot more greys. But they're warm greys, they're not cool greys at all, they're warm, because that hint of pink on the brush is warming all those greys up nicely. Okay. So you can see how you can make something like this so fun. Just a simple little abstract for your wall. You can make it so much fun. I really would implore you to try it, because you don't know what you're missing, really. I know a lot of people out there, especially landscape painters. I'm a landscape painter. I love landscapes, but trying something like this, it really just does free up your mind. And it opens your mind up to different types of painting. It really does. It's really good practice just to try it, you know. I really would say to you, try it. If you're skeptical, try it. And it's nice to have a little abstract on your wall every now and then as well. So I'm just going to grey. I'm just going to grey some of the pink slightly. I don't want too much pink in this painting, all right? A little bit here. Let's try and soften that a little bit. Okay. All right. I mean, even as it is, it's pretty nice. Look, that would make a lovely splash of colour on the wall, I think. Lovely splash of colour. Now, a little bit in here. Need a little bit in there, I think. Okay. Just like that. We'll come down and add a piece in there on that side. That needs a little bit down there, doesn't it? And I'm going to brighten all of this as well. Okay, now more white. I'm using a fortune of white. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a new white I have here. Someone sent me this as a gift. Beautiful, thick white paint. I'm going to try it and see how it looks. It's fairly thick. Okay, let's try it. There we go. Ah, There we go now, nice thick white paint. That's what we want. And let's pop some of that in here, look. Okay, I'm going to go a little further with this here as well. And a bit of white in here. I'll add a touch of Naples yellow in there in a moment, I think, just to really make that pop right out. Okay, very bright colours up here. Okay, there we go. And comes down. And I'm going to turn this now just to bring it down into that, to incorporate the curve down, okay? To make it sort of almost come together, isn't it? Now, see, I'm putting on slightly thicker paint now as well. See, because I put a thin undercoat on this, it's much easier now with the thicker paint. It's just going on much, much easier. So, brightening it all now, adding plenty of white into this. It's starting to come to shape, isn't it? Okay, let's try up on top with a little bit of this colour. Nice bright white. And let's brighten some of this up. I get my smaller brush then and start putting on more refined kind of brush strokes, okay? I just want to get the bulk of all the thicker paint on, the big areas, you know what I mean? I just want to get them all kind of filled in, and we can go with little detail then, be nice. Little details. Maybe a little one coming through up here. And I'm going to go a little bit like that. Okay. Now I might just put pure white up on one of the corners up here. And bring some, maybe just here as well, somewhere. Somewhere around the middle. You see how quickly we had this done? So quickly. Because there's no rules. We can do whatever we like. It's a lovely change actually. It's really nice and free. You can just, you know, if you're the type of person that stops painting for a couple of weeks, you put your brushes down and you find it very difficult to get back into painting. Something like this is what you need to do, okay? Just grab your brush, a piece of old canvas or anything at all, and just start throwing paint on the canvas. You'll be completely amazed of the results, you really would. And gives you a bit of, you know, a bit of get up and go kind of a feeling, you know, to get stuck into your painting. It really does. Okay, we're doing pretty good. I'm going to put a piece along here. So now, how is this looking, everyone? I'm going to take some Naples yellow, a little touch a touch of Naples yellow, and I'm going to just brighten one or two spots really to make them jump off of the canvas. So look, a touch of Naples yellow with the white, that really, you'll see now how this really jumps off of the canvas when I put this on. Okay, just a touch. So let's say here, for example, like that. You see how that really pops, makes it a really bright white. So just a little bit of that here and there I think will really help kind of catch your eye as you're looking at the picture. Just to catch your eye and sort of, you see what I mean? It just adds that little bit of luminosity to the white. Let's try another bit of that. Let's go in here, look. And we'll try a little bit of it down, maybe down further down, just to complement the painting, just to help with the composition, just to move the little bright spots around slightly on the canvas. And we can even put a piece here as well, look. Okay, just to kind of catch your eye. Now, I think I'm going to get some smaller brushes and start working in some details. But first, look, a little bit of that brighter colour up here as well. Now, smaller brushes. Let's go with some small, let's go with a small flat, okay? Small flat brush, lots of turpentine. And I'm going to go right into the black, okay? Right in there to that black and some cadmium red. And even some crimson. Let's start getting some proper dark lines in this. Okay, and I'm going to break this one off. This is going to come off in here, like that, okay? And get that piece off of the canvas. See that piece there, just fell off the brush. Let's soften that in, like that. And it's going to turn as well at the same time. Okay. And then it's very black down here, isn't it? I see a lot of black just here. So I'm going to bring a lot of black down here. Like that. So lots of thinners. Don't be shy. Don't be shy with the thinners. Let's pick up loads. I'm just going to refine this edge as well, just a little. Okay, coming on pretty nice, isn't it? You know, let's just keep adding and adding and adding until we feel we have enough. Okay, but the black is important because that will really help the white pop out and really complement the burgundies as well. So the black is very important. There we go, and we can bring some up on this side. We have a lovely dark piece coming out here. I could have probably used my larger brush for this, but what harm, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to go right around here, the dark as well, and then I'm going to break some off the canvas like that. Let some of those soften out. I reckon this will look nice on my wall, I really do. Okay, now take more black, more black, and I'm going to go down here onto this one. I'm going to soften it into that nice red down there, and another bit here, so it comes to a sort of a point, doesn't it? And I'm going to just kind of bring some swoops of black as well out from here, just to show it's all going up into this central point up here. Just to help with the flow, the direction. Now, so far so good. Okay, I'm going to go in and put a nice dark under here. Like that, okay. And I'm going to go up and put some up here. So in a moment then I'm going to take some nice rich burgundy, pinky burgundy, and work on those then, okay, with a small brush. I'm going to pop one or two in around here. Okay, just to kind of finish off that circle a bit more. Pop maybe one or two just here, and coming off of that as well. Alright, now some burgundies. We pop in some burgundies. Maybe one or two blacks down there actually. I forgot about that corner down there. That's sort of the forgotten corner. Maybe just one. Like that, okay? So, burgundies. I need to get more crimson. I'll put my crimson in my palette now, I think, this time. In here. And some red. I'll take some more thinners. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. It didn't take that long. It doesn't need to take very long, okay? It doesn't need to. Get this thing out here. Now, take a little bit of black in that as well. Make it a nice deep pink, blacky kind of a pink, okay? Lots of colour. Now, let's try this, okay? More thinners, lots and lots of thinners. And I'm going to pop a little bit of warmth just in here. Okay, just a little warmth. Again, just to catch the eye. Alright, then let's just start working on some of our burgundies there and there. Let's pop a little bit there. Even that little splash of bright red just kind of catches your eye as well, doesn't it? And let's soften some out here as well. A little bit more black in this mix, I would say. Deepen it slightly. Let's go in here. Let's get some nice colour in this side. It's looking pretty nice so far. I mean, you could even call this finished if you wanted, you could. But I'll just add little touches here and there as I'm going, okay? Just little bits. And lastly, in a minute, I'm going to go with a very bright splash of white with the brush. I think that will really set off the painting. A little bit of burgundy in here as well, look. When I say burgundy, it's like a rich dark pink, isn't it? You know, it doesn't have to be burgundy. Maybe a little just along here. I'll soften one or two up here, I think. Soften them out slightly. Okay. Now I want to deepen all of that little stripe down there, because for me that's the focal point. This dark stripe down here. I'm going to deepen that and then just start lightening perhaps some of the other sections just a little bit with some white and some light greys, okay? But for me, this one here, look, this needs to be nice and rich and dark. So I'm going to just go over that now just a little bit. And I'll add a little bit off of that. The more layers you put on, the richer the colour becomes, alright? Think of that. The more paint you put on over on top of each other, the richer the hue will become. Become much, much richer and darker. Now I'll put a nice, rich, dark colour inside there. Okay? Like that, alright? And then tapers down into a black, doesn't it? Pop one or two black lines in. Okay. Now, let's get some of our white, our bright white. Give this brush a good clean. I'll move to a different brush, just so we have a nice clean brush, okay? Let's get some white. And I'm going to switch thinners as well. I don't want any pinks in this. So I'm going to go with pure white now. A slightly smaller flat brush. And pop a little bright colour in here and there. There we go. And I'm going to pop some in up here. And I'm not even looking at the reference photograph anymore. It's just really go with your feeling of your gut, okay? Just go with what you feel. Go with what you feel. So lots of thick impasto techniques. You see? You can even use a palette knife or something as well. That would be really fun. There we go. A little bit here. So you see, I'm kind of brightening everything now as I go. I don't want too much kind of pink in the way of pink in this. I want really just a dark burgundy and grey. So I'm not sure about some of the pinks. I'm going to just neutralise and get rid of some of those pinks. Now you may think it's nice, and you know, you could leave it. But I'm just not keen on some of the pink. I don't want it too pink, the picture. I don't want a screaming pink. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to take some of them out. And of course it's an abstract, so if you make a mess of it, you can just go back over it again with some different techniques, different colours here and there. Okay? That's the beauty of an abstract. You can make it your own. Oh, nice little splash of white there, that's nice. And we'll go with a little splash of white up here. Like that. And perhaps a bit of white on this side. I hope you've enjoyed this now, even just, if it's not your cup of tea, even just looking and getting some inspiration, maybe for a project that you're thinking about doing. You know, that's my aim, is just to inspire, just to try different things. Okay. My microphone came off. Let me just fix my microphone. That's very important, isn't it? If you can't hear what I'm saying, then it's not a very good tutorial. Okay. Now I'm going to just pop a little splash of white here and there. Lastly, I'm going to get a very small pointy brush, okay? Small round pointy brush, and let's get some fine little marks just here and there. So perhaps one or two around the place, again, just to catch the eye, you know what I mean? So for instance, let's get one down here. And put one along this side here. It's just really refining some of the lines, that's all. You know what I mean, don't you? Just refining. Okay. Pop one or two up here, because we can't forget about the top of the canvas as well. Because the top of the canvas is all on its own up there. We need to pop one or two around up there as well. And I suppose less is more. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to go crazy, because you could lose the feeling. So I think I might just say it's finished without going crazy. And my wife just looked in the window of the studio and she gave me a big thumbs up, so she's happy. And that means I'm happy. So happy days, everyone. We'll stick it on the wall and we'll show you what it looks like, okay? Let me just keep going. Now, what I'm going to do lastly is take some of this dark colour and just sort of finish off a little bit of this just here and there, okay? maybe a bit of grey. And pop touch just to soften some of these out. And then a little touch of black just to sort of refine some of these edges here, all right? So here, for example, just refine some of those. I think a rich splash of dark black really makes a difference. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's been a very free tutorial, a very loose tutorial, but nonetheless, you know, something a little different. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've just enjoyed just sitting and watching me paint. And I'm thinking just one or two, maybe just here, look. And finally, I'm going to take some thick white and just separate that with a band of thick white. Like so. And I would say I'm finished, my friends. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to kill the painting completely. So, I suppose I better sign it, should I? Let's go down and sign the painting. It is an original Stephen Conway after all. I'll go down here and sign it. I better get a smaller brush. A small pointy brush, because if I ruin the signature I'll have to go over everything again. Isn't that true? Okay, here we go. A little bit of black, and I'll go S. Conway. There we are, done. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed that. It's been so much fun painting this. I might still go over some of the pinks with a bit of grey. I'm not keen on some of them. There's one or two down here I think I might go over. I think I'm going to just do it now as I'm here. It'll only take a minute. But I'm just not keen on some of the pinks, okay? And you probably think I'm going to ruin the painting now, and I still might. There's every chance I can ruin it. But I just want to tone down some of the pinks just a little. There may be a little too much pink going on. You may see it differently. My wife may think it's differently, but I can see just a little bit too much pink here and there in the painting. So I'm just going to quickly, as I'm here, tone down some of them. Just a little. Just a tiniest little bit. Okay, and maybe just a little there. Should I just leave it well alone, because I feel I'm going to ruin it if I keep going? Should I stop? Should I stop? You tell me. Okay, we leave it. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a huge pleasure painting this for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back next week with another tutorial, a proper nice little landscape. Do subscribe if you haven't done so. Click the bell and the subscribe button, and pop over to Patreon as well. There's a lot of extra tutorials over there for you if you're interested in supporting me. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy have a lovely new beginning of 2022. Thank you so much, and let me know what you think. I'll show you a picture of this just now hanging on the wall. Okay, so God bless you all, and happy painting.